Before we continue with networking, let's do the review of the logical storage module. As we discussed, we've got quite a few types of storage virtual machines, and the data SVMs that we talked about are never bound to a node and are containers that can host volumes, addresses, and run protocols to serve as data to clients. The admin SVM is one per cluster, and it's also not bound to a node. It can flip over to any of the nodes based on the IP address that it hosts. The node SVM is bound to a node, and that SVM has something which is called vol0. Every node has its own vol0, which is mounted on /mroot. And we have something which is called a system SVM. That SVM also does not host any data. It is just there to make sure that the cluster interconnect is set up correctly. The root volume of every storage virtual machine is a very small volume, and it is the starting point of the SVM's namespace. If you have a problem with your root volume, you will have a problem with your namespace. The minimum volume size is 20 megabytes. The volumes can store files for file level access, which is obviously NAS, for CIFS and NFS, and we have SAN access, which is block level based, and that is for Fibre Channel Protocol and for iSCSI. It is possible to rehost a volume from one SVM to another SVM, but you have to keep in mind this is a disruptive action. The mount point of a volume is called junction path, and you can specify it when you create the volume, or you can later mount the volume and then specify the junction path to which you want to mount the volume. The default volume retention the default volume delete retention hours is 12 hours. So that means that your volume will not be actually removed until 12 hours have passed, even though you have told ONTAP to remove the volume. If you want to speed up the actual deletion of that volume, you should modify the retention hours parameter. The default number of constituents for a flex group volume is 8 per node.